Here we are. I know you all requested this thing a lot because everyone likes the Mirage. Unfortunately so, it's not as good as people like it to be. It's still a decent plane. It's a very good missile sled, as I call it. It has a very big Chonker missile in the middle of the plane, which has medium range, close range. It's more of a throwaway thing. I use it for people that are unaware. Of course, it's the first missile you will fire, and it's mostly just spooks people and might dump some flares of a Phantom. And then you have the magic Matras on the wingtips, which are your main killing power of this thing. They pull extremely good, and they kill very potently, as you saw in the intro. But overall this plane is a bit frustrating to fly, and I tried a lot of things in this thing. I tried rushing in, I can tell you it doesn't work. I tried side climbing a little bit, I can tell you it also doesn't work, because the moment someone gets on your 6 and he starts launching those missiles at you, you're gonna have a lot of trouble staying alive. And the problem is not the dodging part. You can dodge one of two of them. The problem is that you lose so much speed doing so that if they shoot a second one after you dodge the first, you're basically toast. If someone gets on your 6 and he decides to just stick on you, he doesn't even have to commit. All he has to do is just make you move a couple of times. You lose like 300, 400 kph because the energy retention is horrible. I know it's a Delta Wing, it's supposed to do this, but it's relatively annoying. And you will see plenty of that in the second part of this video. I have 2 very short games. I didn't get many good kills in this thing, many good games I should say. It's mostly 2 or 3 kill games and then the whole team was dead. Mostly steamrolls like the one you're seeing right now. I'm coming in from high altitude. I'm coming to clean up. These are 2 missiles, 2 of them hit. Extending, I don't want to afterburn too much because of the fuel this thing uses. But then I realized that, well, the game is basically over already. Because their whole team just got missiled. I'm looking around, looking if I can see anyone. Don't see shit. That's alright. Throttle back up. The afterburner looks pretty good, but I wish it was a little bit thicker. Because, well, it looks like it doesn't really fit in the engine. It looks like it should be just a little bit thicker, just like the F-104s. But yeah, the missiles, main killing power. The Aidens are giving me a lot of hits, unfortunately, especially when I'm shooting at well, Phantoms. They're very tanky. So what you want to get out of this plane, you turn reasonably well. Your acceleration is pretty good. Your top speed is pretty good. Your missiles are amazing. The guns are relatively easy to use. They're rather low velocity, so they might be a bit tricky to use sometimes, but the placement is great. It's not like the Phantom when they're really low on your plane, or the MiG-21, and this thing feels actually kind of natural to aim. Not like the F4Es, the MiG-21s, as I just said as well. They feel kind of weird to get your guns on target because they're a bit of a boat. This thing feels the most like a plane out of any top tiers at the moment. This thing actually feels like a plane. That's nice. I kind of like the plane, but it really is outclassed at the moment. The Phantoms, the MiG-21 MFs and the SMTs, they shouldn't be fighting this thing. It's just a null order BR. This thing is fine at 10.3, I'm not saying that. But stuff like the FGR, the F4E, F4EJ, they should be a higher BR than this thing. And it should not be a direct competitor. But of course I can sit here and complain about the compression of jets all day. But it is what it is. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So just the second game is not really going my way. Unlike, well, the first game where everyone basically flew in front of me. And I could just easily pick everyone off as they were basically not paying attention to me. And I'm side climbing a little bit. This is one of the earlier times. I was only running 30 minutes of fuel at this point. Because I felt like there was plenty. I'm also in a 4-man squad at the moment. But 2 of the Mirages are basically stock. One has the missiles and the FGR has not played this game in a very long time. Was expecting that to hit. Unfortunately it didn't. But I'm using the Chonk missile as a disposable weapon. And if I get an easy kill, I get an easy kill. And if I don't, then that's not a problem. Shoot a missile there, he's gonna turn right into that, or turn right into that, he's not really gonna dodge that, he's an F4C, he doesn't have flares, he's gonna get clapped. And right now I'm above everyone, I have 1 missile left, and I want you to look at his speed bleed, because this MiG-21 is gonna stick on me for a little bit, and luckily we are high, and we are alone. Well, I have a friendly, but there's not another enemy here to capitalize on him pushing me slow. But I'm forced to turn with him here. Because if I try to run away from him, I'm too slow and he's gonna R60 me. So the speed bleed makes it so that I can easily stick on your ass. And that's nice. But you can tell that I don't have any speed left over at this point. About to kill him, Get Low comes in and missiles him out of the air. And now it's just a matter of picking targets. I could have tried a missile, the J7 here. Didn't go for it. Didn't have enough lead, unfortunately. But the J7 isn't a real threat to me. He doesn't have missiles. He only has NR30s. And they're relatively hard to use. FRE coming up for us. Luckily he dodges. Teammate is okay. And I want you to pay close attention to this missile, because I'm gonna missile this G91. And the circle goes onto the left a little bit. If it does that, do not fire. It's at the moment it's bugged. I'm not sure if it's just the magic or if it's a more plane than that. If the circle does not lock onto the actual plane, do not bother firing, because it's not going to hit. It's just going to fly straight like I did there, and you're going to waste a missile. A missile I could have really used here. And that missile was just spazzing out a little bit. Managed to dodge it because it was out of fuel. Couldn't pull hard enough, it lost all its speed, it couldn't turn, and then it overshot me. And right now we're a bit of a predicament. We're low on the deck against a bunch of FREs. Luckily there's some teammates around. I completely whiffed that shot, unfortunately. Very tiny side profile on that MiG-21 or the J7. So I can excuse me for that, but still I should have hit that. Trying to do an easy turn here because I don't want to overpull and lose all my speed, because I'm already going 800 here. Just look at my speed when I try to get my guns on, and when I'm just turning a little bit. I'm already back on 800, 750, 780. I shouldn't turn that hard. I know this is a mistake on my end. I missed that. I couldn't aim. Make sure that I don't get missiled in the ass here. Try to pull under the FRE so he can missile me. He's going for Logan, or get low. And now we're going 400 versus 2 FREs. And this is a bit of the average gameplay you're going to have in this plane. Luckily I killed that FRE. I'm gonna extend away. I see that he's trying to loop over to go for me. So I'm gonna cut under him, and blow the other way, and get my speed up a bit. Because if he shoots an AIM-9J at me at this point, I'm dead. Nothing I can do. But luckily Get Low is gonna spike him. The F4 is bled too much speed. He crits him at 1 kilometer. And that's game. He got an ace, I got 3. Nice teamwork. A bit lucky, but you know, I gotta take some luck in this plane. Because without it, you're simply not gonna get very far. I'm just gonna let the dogfight play out. We suggest a 1v1. And I wanted to 1v1 a MiG-21, so I could kind of know what it could do. So, is this plane worth your time? Yes and no. It's a good plane. It's a fun plane. The problem is that it's very frustrating due to the meta and just the missile spam, the flare spam, which makes it kind of annoying to get shots on sometimes. And sometimes your missile just straight up spark, which doesn't really help. So I tend to just kill all the targets that I know I can kill. So like the MiG-21s, the J-35s. And it's more of a support plane. It's a glorified missile sledge. And that's all it is. Like, it's good at what it does. But the moment you get someone on you and you get force slow, it's basically game over. So this thing is relatively frustrating. I haven't been as mad as I was yesterday in a long time. And yes, I was flying it wrong, and it took me quite a bit of time to get used to the plane. But now I've kind of learned the plane and I know how to use it. I have 115 kills in it by now. It's not for me. And it's mostly due to the meta. It's a fun plane, as I just said. The problem is just that, well, it doesn't fit the meta. Which is really unfortunate. It's a pretty plane though. Like, it looks really great. And he's just gonna pull out of that just in time. But my magic isn't gonna have any of that, because he's running back to his airfield. And I don't want to deal with that. So there you have it. Hope you are enjoying the Mirage. Well, more than I am. I'm not going to be flying it again. I'm not a very big fan of top tier. I might be going back for top tier for the F104s. I got all 7 of them, and I'll see if I can compare them all for you. At the moment, I have no idea which one is the best and which one is worse. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope this was helpful for you. I had to say thanks to him, which I did afterwards. Thank you, because he saved us that game. Hit by random AA, as you do in top tier. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon.